It's World Teachers Day. Yes, I know that we here in Jamaica observe Teachers Day in May, but the International Labour Organization and UNESCO honor all teachers globally on October 5. So when it comes to celebrating our educators, we get to do it twice. You know, they're worth it. So let's join our international partners to show respect to a field of workers without whom we'd be jobless and without a few other essentials. Hi, I'm Oroya Eubanks and you're tuned in to Jamaica Magazine. Between the pages today, a teacher now promoted to principal of Mona High School, Kevin Jones, is this week's guest on Issues and Answers. We find out if he's up to the task of continuing the upward movement of this non-traditional high school. Plus, it's the heritage season. Ideas for the dinner table. It's those features and more, so please stick and stay.
Householders, business people, school administrators, protect yourself and your children from the Chikungunya virus. Be on the alert. Help control the mosquito population. Chikungunya is a virus transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which breeds in and around your home, workplace, and school. Destroy breeding sites. Empty old tires and all other containers where water can settle. Bore holes in old cans. Cover water drums and garbage cans. Wash flower pots and vases and clean pet dishes regularly. Protect yourself from mosquito bites. Cover your body as much as possible and use mosquito repellent containing DEET. And if you're experiencing symptoms of chikungunya, a sudden high fever, headache, rash, nausea, pain, stiffness, or severe joint pains, see your doctor or go to the nearest health center.
During the past few years, Mona High School has been steadily improving academically. The upgraded St. Andrew-based institution is yearly passing out students with a number of distinctions. To tell us more about these achievements and the plan to remain on the path to success is Principal Kevin Jones. He's next with Ian Boyne.
Thanks for joining us for Issues and Answers. I'm Ian Boyne. A number of non-traditional high schools have been improving their performance, and the recent CSEC results showed that. One of those schools is Mona High School. Its principal, Kevin Jones, is here with us, and we will talk about the changes, the transformation which has been taking place there, and some of the other changes which will be expected under his leadership. We thank you so much for your company. Mr. Jones, good to have you on Issues and Answers.
Thank you, Sarah.
Congratulations for the achievements at your school. You're recently appointed principal, so you stand on the shoulders of your predecessors.
Right.
But congratulations are in order. Tell us about the improvements, the specific improvements which have been made at Mona High School.
Well, let me start with behavior. I can tell you that in the past, and I have heard, there was tension between Mona High School boys and some other students from other schools, including Jamaica College.
Okay.
But to be honest with you, we don't have that for the past 3 to 5 years. That's what I've been told. So the school is actually doing quite well. The students are doing quite well where the behavior is concerned. Now, I will not tell you that we do not have, small issues.
Pockets.
Yes, pockets of
discipline.
Because you would have your little infractions being committed, like dress code violation, disrespect to teacher, late coming, and so forth. Those things are things that we have to deal with, and that's common right across the board. In terms of academic performance, Mona High School has been doing tremendously well for the last 5 years. They have been trending upward. I can tell you that for the 2014 CSEC results, we got 86% for English. For math, last year, the 2013 result, it was 36 or 35, but then it jumped to 61. And for many other areas like clothing and textile and the industrial arts and so forth, we have received 100% in other areas.
Passes?
We have been trending upward, and the school has been doing quite well. Even in principles of business, principles of accounts, those passes are in the 80s, like 87%. Physics, I think, is 76%. Digital
so you've
media.
been doing better than some of the traditional high schools.
Some of the traditional high schools,
in
right.
your passes now.
Right. And that is why when I talk to the teachers and the students, I always say to them, just remove that concept from your mind about being upgraded high school or non-traditional high school. The only difference is that they were established before us.
Yes.
We were established in 1979. My alma mater, Clarendon College, was 1942. So they were established before Mona High School. But since we have been established, we have been up there with the traditional high schools.
Yes. So an important thing to achieve is a transformation of attitudes, transformation of paradigm. I mean, transformation of perspective.
Right, right. And that will only be achieved when you change the image of the school. You see, formerly, when the students sit the GSAT exams, they would choose the traditional high schools first, second, and third choice, and fourth. And so they wouldn't choose Mona High School as a first, second, or third. So what would happen, though, is that every year, at the beginning of each academic year, the teachers at Mona High School would start off with a handicap. They would start off teaching all the students in grade 7 in first form who did not select Mona High School as their first choice. So what we have at any given time is a cohort of students who did not want to be at the school. And so the grades that we used to get at the GSAT level reflected that. We used to get the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the GSAT passes.
We used to get as low as 20s.
We used to get that. And we also had a reading specialist where we had to assist students to read. Now, because of the passes, the quality passes at the CSEC level, what we have now, we get in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and lower 90s, due to transfers and so forth from other schools. And so what we have now are students selecting Mona as third and fourth choice. The mission is not yet accomplished. I need to be up there with the Woolmers and the Campion and the Immaculate.
That's your aim.
That's my aim. That's my aim. I presented that to the school board in my 5-year plan. So by 2019, what we need to have for students coming from the primary level is to select Mona High School as their first, second, and third choice. So we have to make sure that I implement all these initiatives to accomplish that objective.
How have Ministry of Education policies benefited Mona High School?
Well, the ministry, let me start with the ministry's philosophy first. The ministry's philosophy is that every child can learn, every child must learn. But I've taken the liberty to take it a little bit further than that. Every child must learn if the child is given all the requisite, tools, space, teacher quality, and so forth, or the right environment in which to accomplish their academic objectives. But in contact with the ministry has given us like computers. They have assisted us in building new classrooms. Even when we are in need of more teachers, like vacancies to fill, and we say to the ministry, we want you to make this an established vacancy or established post at the school so that they can pay the teacher on a monthly basis. So the ministry has been quite...
with that. The ministry also has math and English specialists to help those schools which have challenges in those areas. Have you been the beneficiary of any of those coaches?
Since I've been the principal, effective September 1st this year, I've met the math coach, and he came there yesterday. I met him also. So he comes maybe once or twice a week. He goes to many different schools within that area, and he sits in the math department. So he's actually there to help the math teachers. We also have students from the University of the West Indies who come down to assist us in the math department and in other areas. So we want to partner with the tertiary institutions in and around Mona High School, partner with the parents, with the business community, with the Ministry of Education, asking them really to step it up, top it up, give us more support, give us more classrooms. And I should also mention that due to the quality passes, we have now enrolled 51 students in our sixth form program.
Good. Concrete achievements at Mona High School. Its principal, Kevin Jones, is here to tell us about that, as well as the future direction of Mona High. We take a break, but we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Shauna Helps, Women's Girls School National Junior Sprinter. By now, you should know about the Tablets in School pilot project, in which students and teachers in 38 schools across Jamaica are provided with tablet computers by the government. This message is for those students who will benefit. Remember that the main purpose of the tablets is for improving education. Be conscious of your environment. Don't show off by using it on the road, while walking, or on the bus. Wait until you are at home or in a safe place. And do not use it when you are eating or drinking. Food and liquid on your device will ruin your chance of enjoying the most from it. Students, if you take care of your tablet, it will take care of you.
Welcome back. The principal of Mona High School, Kevin Jones, is here with us. Mona has been improving its performance in a number of areas, and we're looking at these concrete achievements and the reasons behind them. Just a little bit about your own background. You're a young headmaster.
Right. Well, I was born and raised in Clarendon. My parents are still alive, still married. They have 12 children, 6 boys, 6 girls. They managed to balance it off. I usually tell them that during their time they didn't have any TV. But I'm number 10.
Yes. And you went to Clarendon College?
And I went to Clarendon College. Went from first form to sixth form. I used to board there as well.
Yes.
After that, I graduated in 1997. And I went to UWI. I did my first degree at UWI. And I also did a postgraduate diploma in education.
Postgraduate at UWI?
At UWI, right. Then
in terms of your teaching experience?
First job, I went to St. Hugh's High School. And I taught there for 5 years. Did Schools Challenge quiz and taught Spanish. I was a Spanish teacher of Spanish, right. And then after that, I left. I went overseas, and I did my master's degree at Virginia Commonwealth University in educational leadership and management, and taught in the school system for 3 years at that time in North Carolina. And then when I came back, I did a stint at Manchester High School. That was where I got the job. But then I took up the post of Dean of Discipline at Belfield High School, and then transferred over to Jamaica College.
So you were at Jamaica College before?
Right. I was the Dean of Discipline during the 2010-2011 academic year.
Okay. When there was some conflict with Mona High School?
No, at that time there was no conflict. That was what, 3 years ago?
Yes.
3 years ago? No, at that time it was already dying down.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
And then I left and I went overseas to study again. But things didn't quite work out. So I came back like 3 weeks after. Did 1 year at Meadowbrook High School, taught Spanish at the CSEC level, and then I went back. This time I went to South Carolina, enrolled in a doctoral program in educational leadership and management, and taught in the school system. Saw the job for Mona High School, decided to apply for it, and I went through a series of interviews and psychometric evaluation. Actually, I have 1 more year left on my contract in South Carolina, but when I was offered the job at Mona High School, I said to myself and to my wife, I think we should go back home.
Why you wanted? Because you would have known of the challenges here. Yes, improvements have been made, but you would know that it was a challenging situation. Why did you want to take on that?
Well, I don't fear challenge. I've always wanted to make a more meaningful contribution to the educational system and at a higher level, because I've taught for 14 years in the system. So I really wanted to make a transition into administration. It has always been my childhood dream also to become a principal. My principal of Clarendon College, Mr. Porteous, he inspired me and many other students to reach out for that sort of accomplishment. So it was my childhood dream. Had the qualification, the requisite skills and experience. And as I said, I really wanted to give back at this level, so I made a decision to come back.
And you've done a lot of training. You've had a lot of training in educational leadership itself.
Right.
Yeah. What kind of impact do you want to make on Mona? By the time you would have left there, what would Mona High School be like?
Well, since I have been there, September 1st, we signed off, the senior teachers and the management team, we signed off on a new vision statement for the school.
Okay.
And the vision really is, the vision of Mona High School is to provide an exemplary education to the students of Mona High School in a global 21st century environment. The word exemplary was deliberately put there by me because exemplary means worthy to be imitated.
Yeah, to be imitated.
And so when I leave, I want all the other schools in Jamaica looking at Mona High School as a role model.
Including the top schools.
Including the top schools. To say, we want to be like Mona. We want to be like a Mona. So whenever we talk about traditional high schools and how well they have done, there are certain names that usually come up.
True.
No, I want Mona High School to be part of that
Excellent.
expression whenever people use it.
And what do you think you would need to do to bring Mona High to that stage?
Well, what do I need to do? There are many factors which influence student performance in the school system. When you're talking about the school environment, just the ethos, you know, teacher quality, teacher effectiveness in the classroom. You're thinking about parental support, the socioeconomic background, self-esteem. But all the research has shown that the single most factor which is responsible for student performance within the classroom setting is the quality of the teacher.
Quality, that's right.
So as the headmaster at the school, what I want to do is to make sure that in every single classroom at the school, there's a quality teacher in it. Also, I want Mona High School to be financially sustainable. So we want to create programs where we can earn enough money to implement things so we don't have to wait on the ministry. We know that the government is strapped for cash. So we want to make sure that our tuck shop is making money.
Yes.
We plan to build like a swimming pool so we can rent it out. Refurbish our basketball court and netball court. A number of things. We plan to go solar so we can cut the electricity bill so that we can be financially sustainable.
Yes.
So these are things. So when we get the money, we hope to use the money now to build more classrooms so that we can change the teacher-student ratio. And also we can provide proper facilities, like bathroom facilities. They are there, but we need more. We need to renovate a few areas. So we need to make sure that we use the money to really put back into the school, so that if anybody steps into the school, they maybe feel as if they're on a 5-star hotel or something like that.
So you want to make Mona High School the school of choice?
The school of choice, the #1 school of choice. #1.
Ambitious plans, but from a man well-trained in educational leadership and management, the newly appointed principal of Mona High School, Kevin Jones, telling us about the changes that have taken place and the changes that he wants to take place at the school. We thank you for your company. Next week I'll be back. Until then, Ian Bourne wishing you a pleasant day.
Hey you. Me? Yes you. Are you between the ages of 9 to 12, attending a primary or a prep school? Do you want to go on a treasure hunt? No. You don't need to go that far. Our island home has a lot of hidden treasures, and this is your opportunity to explore.
The Jamaica Information Service Heritage Essay Competition is here again for its 4th staging. Your challenge is to type a 400 to 500 word essay on which national heritage site is most significant and why.
So gear up, boot up that computer, and start trekking.
You need to download the application form online at jis.gov.jm. For more information on what you need to complete your exploration, call 926-359-024, extension 2137 or 2133. Your journey should be completed by Friday, October 31. The typed essay should be submitted online via the entry form on the JIS website at jis.gov.jm.
Now I've stepped into the teacher role. I want to teach you the importance of continuing the legacy of preparing traditional meals, what I've called heritage dishes. Grab a pen and a book and take these notes as we get ready for Heritage Week.
Annatto, pimento, peppers, spices that bring flavor to meals, yams, coconut, pork. It's a buffet of traditional foods, what some men refer to as strong-back meals, what grandparents call soul food. It's a serving of heritage dishes, Jamaican delights. Freed slaves were resilient people. Many were warriors, some mountain runners. The foods they ate fueled their strong arms and speedy feet. Today we continue to eat some of those same foods, leading experts to conclude that it's the substance for the greatness of the Jamaican people.
One can imagine when the Maroons reached the mountains and realized now they don't have the food that the slave masters used to provide them with, then they would have had to find a way to survive.
Dr. Powell has been in the culinary industry for more than 30 years, traveling through every nook and cranny of the country, observing the authentic way of preparing Jamaican dishes. With that wealth of knowledge, the culinary expert penned a book, Sweet Runnings Cookbook. The colorful book comprehensively documents the Jamaican cuisine, providing today's housewives with the necessary information to whip up a tasty dish in honor of the ancestors. As a reminder of how a few popular Jamaican meals are prepared, we entrusted the cooking to the expertise of multi-award-winning chef Carl Hart of the Pantry Caterers.
Today I'm preparing one entree, a soup, and a dessert. The entree or main entree would be stew peas with pig's tail and corn pork, traditional. The pork not touching this one though. It's corn pork, pig's tail, and my dessert is sweet potato pudding, the traditional method, with the hella top, hella bottom, hallelujah in the middle kind of, and a soup, which is pepper pot soup, and the beverage, which is the thing we'll use and wash down everything. I hear people make such a big deal about stew peas. It's also one of the one-pot meals that is so very simple to make. One thing, you can't have stew peas is not have spinners. What are spinners? Little spinners, flour dumpling. A lot of people are also, because of health-conscious reasons or maybe traditional reasons, would opt not to use regular white flour. I remember my mother used to make some of the tastiest dumplings from Greater Dasheen, cassava, any of the above. So let me see what my stew pea is going on with over here now. My stew peas should be ready. Wow, yeah. Nice. You know, sometimes when you go to restaurants, you wonder why the stew peas just taste so floury, and you wonder why they stay so far and put the peas in there. I like to see my stew peas looking peasy and meaty and nicely reduced. Usually, for a pork lover like myself, you could cook it with meat. But for vegetarians, it's perfectly tasty to go along with a no-meat vegetable soup. Basically, this is about coming together of all the ingredients. See, without putting a thickening agent, all the vegetables have been nicely reduced and come together. But I have one last ingredient to add, which would be my janga, or the crayfish. But sometimes you can add it because you don't want it mixed up and kind of get lost in it. This is pepper pot soup with yam, little dumplings, janga, And, you know, and even as children, you can't get children to eat callaloo, but they'll eat this. The method of cooking was not an oven like we do now, which we usually put on a pot with water and then mix the pudding and put it on top of the steam and then get a piece of zinc and we made the charcoal or wood sticks and put it. So this was the hell at the top, the hell at the bottom, and the hallelujah is in the middle.
Look at this lovely fufu made with yellow yam, and of course, you know, the yam was cooked and then pounded in the mortar, and then the stew peas. When you look at the spinners, they're just standing out at you. And of course, in those days, our foreparents, they always washed down the meal, you know, and they used to have a lot of beverage, you know, and Carl made this fantastic drink with some sugar, cane sugar, and with civil orange. This is really a fantastic representation of post-emancipation dishes. So you don't have to worry about the expensive flour, imported flour. Just pound some yam, some dasheen, or even pound some cassava. You can pound plantain, and you can have that as your staple with your various protein dishes.
Housewives, cooks, when next you're deciding on what's for dinner, consider one of these savory Jamaican dishes, nutritious and wholesome.
ESET. What's that? That's an acronym that all Jamaicans should learn. It's the name of the electricity sector enterprise team that's in charge of improving the standard of energy usage, which in the long term will reduce the amount of money spent on electricity bills. The team recently announced that Jamaicans can expect at least a 30% reduction in the cost of fuel by 2018, which should save the country $350 million in energy costs. The reduction will come once several energy projects are implemented, starting as early as next year. Projects include new baseload generating plants that will supply additional electrical power to the national grid. There's the Bogue Power Station being converted to burn gas by 2015, and the Old Harbour and Hunts Bay plants changing over to liquefied natural gas. And Alumina Partners of Jamaica plans to develop a new gas facility in 2017, while Jamalco's coal-fired cogeneration facility is expected to come on stream by 2018. These and other initiatives being governed by ESET will surely have Jamaicans coming out the winners. In the meantime, continue to practice good energy-saving measures as we keep the country's energy bill down. Here is a motivational thought. Don't watch the clock. Do what it does. Keep going. Author Sam Levinson providing words of encouragement as the work week begins tomorrow. The information continues to flow on our website, jis.gov.jm, or you can follow us on Twitter at JISnews. Or for more features, visit our YouTube channel at WatchJIS. Join us again tomorrow on this same station. I'm Arroyo Eubanks. Have a peaceful day.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.